This interview is for information only and should not be considered as investment advice or a recommendation to buy shares in the company featured. Welcome to this Stock Box interview. Well, joining us today is Ben Turney, the CEO of Kavango Resources, following news that the company have received a report from Dr. Hamid Mumin identifying a high potential banded iron formation hosted Lode Gold model for their Ditau Project in Botswana. So welcome back, Ben. How are you doing?
I'm fantastic. Thanks, Mark. After the news yesterday, we've really got something to go at here.
Well, let's talk about that because, of course, we didn't speak so long ago. We did talk about Ditau, and you were talking about those red rocks that you'd hit that you weren't sure what they were, and you'd sent off samples and data to an IOCG expert, and you had the news recently that Dr. Mumin has identified the likely presence of a large alteration system within a very thick banded iron formation, and that he considers exhibits excellent gold potential, and this is a new and exciting opportunity for Kavango. So how does that make you feel then, Ben? Equally as excited to get this feedback?
Honestly, Mark, not exaggerating, it makes me tingle. Like even now, I mean, it's to receive a view like this on one of our projects. We've really struggled over the last couple of years with the sand cover and communicating that message to the market. We've obviously had to work with a lot of concepts, and we've taken steps forward across our portfolio. But this is by far the clearest indication that we could now be zoning in on what I would hope ultimately becomes a discovery and even an economic discovery. We've got a very large system that we're working with. We have the technology available to us to be able to map that system. These banded iron formations are very magnetic, and one of the skills that we've really developed in-house over the last couple of years, and I've got to give Hilary most credit here because a lot of this really is Hilary's work, mapping these magnetic bodies with a very high degree of accuracy. We saw in our KSZ drilling last year that Hilary's magnetic modelling, when we went really deep into the Proterozoic in the KSZ, we hit the Proterozoic pretty much bang on where Hilary predicted it would be. So now taking that same experience, that same technology, those same skills, and applying that to these banded iron formations, I think we've really this is a very, very exciting development for Kavango.
Well, the RNS certainly reads very exciting. I also note that Dr. Mumin adds that due to the overall robustness of the current discovery, the chances of finding economic grades in the Ditau discovery area is considered very good. So, I mean, what are the next steps that Kavango plan to take to verify the ore deposit model proposed by Dr. Mumin? And is it fair to say that this will now have your full attention?
Oh, 100%. I mean, we have in the next few weeks, I'm heading back down to Africa with Peter Winterby. We've got Brett Grist coming, and we're going to be meeting with Hilary as well, who's going to join us on our trip. So 4 of us are going out to see the new projects that we've been looking at. Now we're in the final stages of due diligence on those, so we need to get those over the line. But in terms of our immediate exploration efforts, Brett has gone down to Southern Africa early. So he arrived in Botswana yesterday. This was a last minute trip for Brett because we really felt that given he was going to be coming down anyway, we should actually get one of our most senior guys to go and oversee the relogging of the Ditau cores. So Brett, as we speak, he's en route to Ditau. He's got quite a long drive ahead of him out of Gaborone, out to the west of the country. Once Brett's there, we're going to resample the cores. We've also got a lead into some other exploration holes that were drilled in the vicinity to us. So we're also going to get Brett to go and do a review of those cores as well. We're going to send samples off to Dr. Mumin for more petrological testing. We're also going to perform assay tests as well. We're going to perform a more expensive form of assay testing, but we believe that this project now justifies this, just to give us a very, very clear picture of exactly what the geochemical makeup of the rocks is. Meanwhile, Hilary and Jeremy are working on a reinterpretation of our geophysical data. We've obviously got quite a lot of geophysics data that we've gathered over Ditau over the years, but of course we were previously looking for carbonatypes. Now that we're looking at this banded iron formation as the main target area, it means we've got to look at this project and the data we have with fresh eyes. Once they've completed that, we'll publish some initial results, but we expect then we'll mobilise more geophysics out to the field. So we're going to do IP surveys and certainly more ground mag. Ground mag will be used to identify the target areas, and we'll use a combination of IP and CSAMT to look for potential trap zones ahead of drilling towards the end of this year. So while this will certainly be our main focus, it will be done in parallel to the work that we're doing in the KSZ, where we're obviously looking to get the B conductors, B3 and B4 in particular, to being drill ready. And meanwhile, we're moving obviously the KCB project over at Carabacubis along. Now that we've got Dave Catterall, who's really helping us a lot on the strategic level. We've got Kaz Lotter, who's also going to be doing more with us. We've got, everything is all guns blazing at the moment, Mark. So it really is a very, very exciting time to be involved in Cav.
Well, it certainly sounds like there's an awful lot of work planned as well, Ben, and good to hear that work will be going on in parallel across the different projects there. So plenty of updates to follow, of course, all funded as well, isn't it?
Well, completely, yeah. So we raised obviously all that money last year. I've been saying this for months, but the market hasn't really cared so far, and I understand that. I mean, so far we need to deliver more results, but the fact is we did complete one of the best financings of anyone in the junior space last year, and I think that reflects both the quality of the team, the quality of the work, and also our potential for discovery. So, it does take a little time to scale programs up and to pick a path, know exactly which direction you're going to go down. But now that we've got these very, very clear leads, we really are going to see a lot of acceleration over the coming months as we mobilize our teams to the field.
And how do you see, or how do you envision the discovery of a large-scale Lode Gold system at Ditau impacting the prospects of the company and, of course, shareholder value?
Well, look, it would be mind-blowing. I mean, look, we're still some way from that point, Mark. I mean, I've got to temper things a little bit. I mean, at the moment, we've identified this really wonderful-looking system. We've got one hole into it that is very encouraging. We don't know the thickness of the BIF yet, so this is one of the first things as well that I would like us to establish. So I think we will look to, if we can re-enter hole DD004 that we drilled last year, but we finished that in April. So the chances are we probably would have to drill a new hole, but it would be good to test the actual thickness of the BIF. But if we are able to identify, obviously, a multi-million ounce gold deposit in a jurisdiction like Botswana, which is a fantastic place to operate, very strong legal system, long established mining act, fantastic economy, fantastic local people, really reliable place, then I think you'd be looking to the market would pay quite a high premium for any actual ounces we discover. But this is still early days. We've got a lot of work ahead of us, so we do have to sort of temper our expectations a bit, but so far this really is looking like a fantastic lead for us to pursue, and by far the best geology that we've encountered. I've said this at the start of the interview, so much of our work has obviously been geophysics led because we're dealing with this thick sand cover, but now to have found this really encouraging geology within a target area that we can reach, that we've proven we can drill. I mean, this is a really great project for us to move forward.
I also noticed in the RNS, Ben, that the company has taken some more licenses around the Ditau area. So, I mean, what other ore deposit types in the district could potentially also be explored based on your knowledge now from the report from Dr. Mumin?
Well, Mark, this is all about the Lode Gold potential. So we had to relinquish some license areas around Ditau last year. That's just part of the normal renewals process. But when we've now seen the potential for this BIF formation, these magnetic rocks, it's obviously caused us to have a completely fresh look at Ditau. So what we've actually done, and we moved very quickly on this, we've taken 3,000 square kilometres of additional ground around the Ditau area. We've done that as a bit of a land grab at this stage. So we obviously need to see what our work reveals over the next few months. But if it turns out that this is an area, which does have significant potential for gold discoveries, And it turns out that what we can see from the survey work that we've done at surface and above surface in terms of mapping the magnetics, if it turns out those rocks are prospective, we thought it was a prudent step to take on the additional licenses. We've got an excellent relationship with the Ministry of Mines in Botswana. We've obviously fulfilled our spending commitments. We kept all of our programs running at full pace throughout the pandemic. A lot of exploration companies really struggled to do that, particularly those that relied on expats. We've invested very heavily in Botswana, our team on the ground, the infrastructure that we've built. So we thought we'd actually take this opportunity just to take some more ground now. And obviously, if it does turn out that this is prospective, then obviously that really does, secure our control over what we hope one day will become a major gold mine. That's our goal with all of this. So yeah, it's a bit of a lightning strike, but we're very happy with the ground that we've picked up, and we'll be releasing maps in a couple of months' time.
Excellent. Well, thank you very much, Ben Turney. I look forward to following the updates here and catching up with you as the work starts and progresses at Ditau and, of course, across the other projects at Kavango. But for now, thank you very much for your time this morning.
Thanks very much, Mark.
If you enjoyed this interview, then give us a thumbs up, a like or a retweet. Subscribe to us on YouTube or follow us on Twitter and hit that notification bell to be the first to know when we release new content. There's loads of great content on our website too, across all our programs at stopboxmedia.com. Thank you for watching.